What if I told you your New Year's resolution is set up to fail before you even start? Let's break the cycle and reveal what actually works in 2026. You've been lied to about resolutions. Before you even start, the odds are stacked against you, and it's not your fault. Here's why almost everyone fails, and what you can do differently this year. We all know the story with New Year's resolutions, right? Did you know that nearly 90% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? That is because resolutions focus on doing, force, willpower, grind, but spiritual growth focuses on being, alignment, flow, and intention. It's a wild statistic, but research suggests a huge number of them fail, with some studies indicating around 90% are abandoned over time. One recent survey even found that the average resolution only lasts about 3.74 months. Things get so predictable that the second Friday in January is now known as Quitter's Day, thanks to data from fitness apps. If you've ever set a massive exciting goal on January 1st, only to feel totally burnt out and back at square one by February, I need you to hear this. It's not your fault. You're not lazy, you don't lack willpower, and you are not a failure. You've just been sold a broken strategy, a system of hyper-sure goal setting that is built to fail. For years, we've been told that to get what we want, we have to hustle, grind, and force ourselves into change. But that's exactly why it almost never sticks. Today, we're going to get into the real reason your willpower always seems to fizzle out. And more importantly, I'm going to introduce you to a spiritual framework for finding true, lasting alignment in 2026. It's a way to stop fighting with yourself and start flowing with the person you were always meant to be. Section 1. The Agitation, the hidden reason your resolutions fail. So, what gives? Why does this same cycle of excitement and disappointment play out every single year? Well, the problem is that most resolutions come from a place of negativity. They're an external checklist that our ego creates to fix all the things we think are wrong with us. I need to lose weight. I need to be more productive. I need to stop wasting so much time. Each of these goals sounds positive on the surface, but they all share a hidden message. I'm not good enough right now. This approach immediately pits you against yourself. It turns your growth into a battle, a fight against your habits, your body, and your current self. You're basically declaring war on who you are in this moment. And honestly, that is an exhausting war to fight. Your main weapon, willpower, is a finite resource. It's just like a muscle that gets tired. When you spend all day resisting things, making hard choices, and forcing yourself to do stuff you don't enjoy, that muscle gets worn out. That's why you can stick to a diet perfectly all day and then find yourself elbow deep in a bag of chips at 10 p.m. It's not a moral failure, it's just biology. The old resolution system is all about doing asterisk. It's about force and checklists. But real transformation isn't about doing asterisk, it's about being asterisk. It's not about adding more tasks to your life, but about becoming the kind of person who can actually sustain the change. You can't build a new future while you're still the same person from the past. This whole system skips the most important part of the puzzle, your soul, your spirit, and your inner alignment. It's a system designed for a sprint, not the marathon of life. It's no wonder that by February, most of us just feel defeated, which kicks off a cycle of shame that makes it even harder to try again next time. Section 2. The Reframe from Willpower to Alignment. So what's the alternative? What if the problem isn't your discipline, but the direction you're headed? Lasting change doesn't come from fighting who you are. It comes from aligning with who you're meant to be. This is the big pivot, from willpower to alignment, from force to flow. Instead of trying to fix yourself, what if you focused on remembering yourself? What if your goals were less about correcting flaws and more about expressing your unique gifts? That's the core of a spiritual framework for setting goals. It flips the script from, what's wrong with me, to, what feels true for me. It pulls us out of a mindset of lack and into one of purpose. And just to be clear, this isn't necessarily about religion. It's about recognizing that you have an inner compass, a soul, that already knows the way. The reason your resolutions failed is because they were screaming directions at you from the outside, while your inner compass was gently trying to point you in the right direction from within. It's time to stop shouting and start listening. If this idea is starting to click for you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're about to get into the practical steps, and you won't want to miss it. Section 3. The Solution, a 3-step spiritual framework for 2026. Okay, so how do we actually do this? I am going to walk you through 3 key shifts to go from the stress of ego-driven resolutions to the calm of soul-led intentions for 2026. Shift 1. From total chaos to Dharma-Centered clarity. The first, and most important, shift is to stop creating goals based on what you think you should do, and start discovering who you are here to be. In yogic traditions, this is called finding your Dharma. Your Dharma is basically your unique purpose or your essential nature. It's the gift that only you can give the world. Traditional resolutions completely skip this part. They jump to the what before ever asking why. But when your goal is connected to your Dharma, your soul's purpose, it's no longer running on that limited willpower. It's fueled by endless inspiration. So, how do you find it? You don't need to go on some big spiritual retreat. You just need to get quiet and ask. Here's your first practice. The Dharma diagnosis. For the next week, try to spend 15 to 20 minutes each morning with a journal. Before you check your phone and let the world rush in, just ask yourself these questions. What activities make me feel alive and like myself? When do I feel the most authentic? How do I feel called to help or serve others? What does contributing to something bigger than myself mean to me? Don't look for some huge world-changing answer here. Your Dharma might be bringing joy to your family, creating art, or just being a calm presence in a chaotic office. Once you have a sense of this why, you can totally reframe your goals. A resolution like I will lose 20 pounds, which comes from self-criticism, becomes a Dharma-centered intention. I will nourish my body with healthy food and joyful movement so I have the energy to share my gifts with the world. Feel the difference. One is a punishment. The other is an act of devotion. This is how you create goals that actually stick. Shift 2. From motivation-dependent habits to sacred daily practices. The second shift is to let go of your dependency on motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes with your mood, your energy, and whether you happen to see an inspiring quote on social media. Instead, we're going to anchor our intentions in sacred daily practices. A practice is something you do not because you feel like it, but because it connects you to your center. It's a commitment held up by meaning, not by your mood. Spiritual growth comes from consistent habits, not just random bursts of inspiration. Here's your second practice, the sacred start. Instead of waking up and jumping straight into the chaos, create a 10-minute sacred ritual for yourself. And listen, this is not another chore for your to-do list. This is the very thing that will fuel everything else. Your sacred start could include meditation or breath work. Just 5 minutes of focusing on your breath can calm your whole system. Gratitude. Write down 3 specific things you're grateful for, big or small. Gratitude shifts your energy from a state of I don't have enough to a state of I'm ready to receive. 1. Pulling a card. If you have a tarot or oracle deck, ask a simple question like, what energy is here to support me today? It's a great way to feel like you're co-creating your day with the universe. You can also sprinkle micro-rituals into your day. Turn making your morning coffee into a tiny, sacred moment by setting an intention. While it brews, take 3 deep breaths and repeat that Dharma-centered intention you created. These small, repeated actions are what turn a goal into a part of who you are. Shift 3. From forcing outcomes to embodied manifestation. The final shift is all about letting go of control and moving from forcing outcomes to co-creating them. Resolutions usually come from a place of rigid attachment. I must get this, or I'm a failure. That creates so much pressure and anxiety. A spiritual intention, on the other hand, is about embodied manifestation. This really just involves 3 things: clarity, consistency, and trust. You get clear on what you want. You consistently align your energy with it through your daily practices, and then you trust that the universe will handle the how. Here's your third practice, the future self letter. This is a really powerful ritual to help you feel your goal as if it's already happened. Find a quiet spot, take a few deep breaths. Now, imagine it's the end of 2026. You've had an incredible year of alignment. You feel peaceful, purposeful, and genuinely happy. From that energy, write a letter to yourself right now. Write it in the present tense, like it's already real. For example, dear me, it is the end of 2026, and I am just overflowing with gratitude. I feel so strong and vibrant in my body because I nourished it with love every single day. My days feel so peaceful because I started each morning with my sacred practice. I have so much energy for my family and my passions. Be as vivid as you can. Really feel the emotions of your future self as you write. This isn't just wishful thinking. You're creating new pathways in your brain and your energy field for this reality to unfold. You're becoming the person who can sustain these changes. These 3 shifts, from chaos to clarity, from motivation to practice, and from force to manifestation, are the keys to making 2026 the year your intentions finally become your reality. So here's what you can do, starting literally today. Tonight, before bed, take 10 minutes to think about that first journal prompt. What truly makes you feel alive? Write down 1 Dharma-centered intention, even if it's small. Maybe it's just, I align with flow through daily gratitude. 2. This week, begin your 10-minute sacred start ritual each morning. Don't worry about being perfect. Just show up. Consistency is way more important than intensity. 3. This month, write your future self letter. Read it once a week to realign with your vision. This isn't a system of grinding and burning out. This is a path of alignment, growth, and joy. It's about remembering that you are already whole, and your only job is to live in a way that honors that truth. So, what is the one intention you are setting for 2026 from this place of alignment? Drop it in the comments below. Let's declare our intentions together and cheer each other on. Thanks for being here. Here's to a year of profound and lasting transformation.